possession, momentum swing. They need to get a stop here on defense.
Looking for space.
Clark can't be stopped. The Aces coach Becky Hammon reveals ridiculous strategy to stop rookie Caitlin Clark that failed. Becky Hammon, head coach of the Las Vegas Aces, employed a rigorous defensive strategy to contain Caitlin Clark during their recent matchup against the Indiana Fever. For much of the game, her tactics appeared effective, nearly securing a win. However, as the game progressed, it became evident that Clark's resilience could turn the tide. In the first half, the Aces succeeded in limiting Clark's impact. She finished the half with a startling 0-for-5 shooting performance, including missed free throws, resulting in 0 points. To achieve this, the Aces utilized aggressive defensive assignments, with Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young shadowing Clark relentlessly. Plum, known for her tenacity, seemed more focused on creating chaos through fouls than executing traditional defensive maneuvers. This high-pressure approach forced Clark into difficult situations, resulting in turnovers and frustration. However, the Aces' strategy had its limitations. Despite Clark's struggles, she remained a significant force on the court, contributing to her team in ways that extended beyond scoring. For instance, while her shooting percentage was low, her playmaking ability shone through. Clark's vision and court awareness allowed her to facilitate plays for her teammates, and she was the only starter on the Fever without a negative plus-minus rating by the end of the first half. This statistic, while sometimes criticized, highlights her ability to maintain a positive influence on the game, even when her own shots weren't falling. As the game progressed into the second half, Clark's resilience became apparent. She began to find her rhythm, scoring 18 points and displaying a commanding presence on the court. The Aces, who initially controlled the game, started to falter as they failed to adapt to Clark's resurgence. She started hitting critical shots, including a series of three-pointers, and her ability to push the pace began to shift the momentum. Despite the Aces' efforts, Clark's adaptability and skill allowed her to control the game's tempo. This was evident when she orchestrated plays, driving the ball, and making crucial passes that set up her teammates for scoring opportunities. The Aces' defensive strategy, which had worked effectively for most of the game, began to break down as Clark exploited gaps in their coverage. Hammon's decision to shadow Clark closely initially appeared to pay off, but as the game wore on, it became clear that the Aces were struggling to contain her. Jackie Young, who was sacrificed defensively to focus on Clark, found her own shooting rhythm affected, contributing to her poor performance from the field. Ultimately, while the Aces secured the win, the game underscored the challenges of defending a player as dynamic as Caitlin Clark. Her ability to adapt, control the game, and make crucial plays in high-pressure moments proved that she could not be contained indefinitely. The tactical choices made by Hammon and her staff almost backfired spectacularly as Clark's performance in the second half nearly turned the tide for the Fever. As the season progresses, teams will have to consider how to defend against Clark more effectively. The Aces' attempt to neutralize her attack was commendable, but it also highlighted the risks of relying too heavily on a single strategy. Caitlin Clark's emergence as a star player means that defenses must adapt quickly to her evolving game, or risk facing the consequences of a player who can dominate on multiple fronts.